Demai, chapter 1, Perek Aleph, Mishnah Daled. We're going to continue our ongoing study of all the things that Demai doesn't apply to. Okay, so the rule is that if you have Tevel, Tevel is produce from which Truma and Masorot were not taken off. It's not like food. And a lot of things, you can't do a lot of things that you would normally do regarding food. But Demai, even though we said it's, remember, a safek, because some Amei Haaretz don't take off Ma'aser, and then you still have Trumat Ma'aser mixed into it, that's a Chumrah. So therefore, many of the rules associated with Tevel are not associated with Demai. Says the Mishnah, and we'll give you a number of different examples. Hademai, me'arvinbo u mishtatfinbo. Me'arvinbo is from the word eruv, and mishtatfinbo is from the word shituf, ishtatef. What's an eruv? An eruv is called an eruv chatzerot. Yes, it's the normal eruv that you normally know. Okay? The eruv we normally know is called an eruv chatzerot. A chatzer is a courtyard. I'm going to show you a picture. Okay, this I got from my eruvin. I have my dapei ma'orot, eshas eruvin. So we're going to see a lot of pictures like this when we get to Masechet Eruvin. So this is an unusual case, but ignore the unusual cases here about like it goes from side to side, and just so you have an understanding of what in the world is going on in the classic neighborhood, the way a neighborhood was built in the image of Chazal in their eyes. This is Reshut HaRabim, public thoroughfare. Off of the Reshut HaRabim was an entranceway or an alleyway called a mavoi. Nobody lived in the mavoi. Okay, the mavoi was a sort of causeway, an access way to get into. This is called the chatzer. Okay, chatzer, a courtyard. And in the courtyard were a bunch of houses, like apartment blocks. So again, you have the Reshut HaRabim. You have a chatzer, you have the mavoi here. All these are mavois in this crazy case. Normally it was a mavoi and it was like blocked off. So let's say if this would have been Reshut HaRabim, this would be a classic mavoi with entrances. But this is an unusual case that the Gemara brings. It just was the clearest picture I could find. Okay, so you have the mavoi, Reshut HaRabim, mavoi, and this is in the chatzer. If you want to carry from one apartment to another within a chatzer, think about it in terms of an apartment block or what have you. You have to do what's called an eruv chatzerot. See, in this case, you don't only think of an eruv as the string around your community or the fence around your yeshuv or what have you. That's not the eruv. The eruv is the fact that you're me'arev. It's a partnership. Eruv is a partnership of food. Mazon shtei seudot, the food enough for 2 seudot. In most communities, it's a box of matzahs. That's what we had in Detroit when I was the rabbi there. Okay, and the food for shtei seudot, one person was mizakeh, accepted the food on behalf of all the people in the chatzer. And since we're sharing this eruv of food, therefore everybody was considered, this whole chatzer was considered like a reshut hayachid, like an individual, and then people would be able to carry from one apartment or one house in the chatzer to another. The eruv, when you say the eruv is up, that's not the enclosure. That's the normal colloquial term, but it's technically inaccurate. The eruv refers to the food that is communally shared. And that's always up because the rabbi does it once a year, usually before Pesach or whatever. Okay. Let's say though I wanted to carry from in the mavoi from one chatzer to another. I can't do that with an eruv. It was only an eruv chatzerot. So then I have to do something very similar. It's called a shituf mavuot. A shituf mavuot, okay, which is pretty much exactly the same thing. Shared food on behalf of all the members of the mavoi. And if that's true, then anyone in the mavoi can carry, as long as from one part of the mavoi, from one chatzer to another chatzer. So both of those are required to make food. Today we don't have really shituf mavuot. We only have eruv chatzerot. We treat everything like a chatzer. But in the times of Chazal, they spoke about both about shituf mavuot from one chatzer to another, and eruv chatzerot from one house to another within the chatzer. And so that's what our Mishnah means when we say me'arvinbo. Okay, you can make an eruv with demai. It's food. Tevel you could not because you couldn't eat it. But demai, we're going to see under certain circumstances, can be eaten as is. So therefore you can make an eruv. Umishtat finbo. You make a shituf mavoot. A shituf of the mavoi. We continue. Umevarchim alav. You can, let's see, bench. If you eat it, you can bench on it. Umezamnin alav. You make a zimun. Umafrishin oto arom. Bein hashmashot. This is unusual, okay? You can, I don't know why anybody would want to do this, but you can separate it. If I have demai and I want to take off the maaser and then take off trumat maaser, I can do it when I'm naked. Why? The bartender explains. When I make trumat maaser and maaser sheni, yachol ha'afrish when he's naked, delo bai berucha. You don't make a bracha on it because it's only a it's only a Durabanan. It's only a Chumrah. It's not a Dioraita. The Ilu Bai Bruche, there's something in the spacing in this is weird. If you want to make a bracha, you can't make a bracha when you're naked. But since it's only Durabanan, therefore, for whatever reason, if somebody wanted to take off Demai, be mafresh Demai in his birthday suit, more power to you. Okay? Bein Hashmashot. What is Bein Hashmashot? Bein Hashmashot is in the time before Shabbat. Okay? Because you might remember from Yemariv, Bein Hashmashot, we don't designate, we don't take off Hafrashot, Shumot, Uma'asrot. Okay? But Safek Chashecha, you Ma'asinet HaDemai, Ve'ein Ma'asinet HaVadai. Because since it's only a Chumrah, therefore Bein Hashmashot, certain things were permitted, and one of those things was Hafrashat, Shumot, and Ma'asrot of Demai. Okay, so we said you can do it Erom, naked, ubein hashmashot. Ha'im higdim ma'aser sheni l'rishon, ein bekach klum. Normally, a person has to take off first ma'aser rishon, then trumat ma'aser, the Kohen gives it, and then ma'aser sheni. You're not allowed to take off ma'aser sheni before ma'aser rishon, okay? And if you do, and you want to cite vidu, and you say, I siti kechol asher tzivitani, you can't do that because you didn't do it in the proper way. You can't say, Kachol mitzvatcha asher tzivitani. Hey, God, I did it exactly the way you're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to do that. You have to take off ma'aser rishon before you take off ma'aser sheni. So for Demai, that rule doesn't apply. In bekach, not a big deal. In bekach lo. Shemen hagardi. Gardi is the oreg, the weaver. Shagardi sach be'etzbotav. So the weavers, when they were weaving, they had to have dexterity or what have you. So they would have to make it a little slippery, I guess. So they put oil on their fingers. So that oil, if the weaver buys oil in order to use for his fingers, chayab b'demai. Because remember we said that sicha, if you use it for a personal benefit on your body, okay, you're using it in order to soften your skin. That's chayab. But for shahasorek notein betzemer, when they would comb the wool. That's part of the process of wool. You take raw wool, you're going to comb it before you can spin it. So they would put oil on the tzemer. So remember we said if you bought oil for your baseball glove, since it's for kelim, it's not chayav in demai. Similarly here, if you bought oil in order to comb your tzemer, comb your wool, patur mina demai, and then you're exempt from demai. Okay. As always, if you have comment, I want to dedicate this learning to the memory of my father, Harav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. And if you have any comments or questions, rspolter@gmail.com. Have a great day.